going on, all you Fox Body fanatics? All right, so this is a little bit different. This is kind of a daily driver slash fleet update. We're in the last little projects that we have to do so that we can consider all the dailies done and we can get started on Sweetleaf. Now, I've been collecting parts and ordering parts, and I really want to work on Sweetleaf. So, in this video, I'm going to give you the rundown on what's going on with all the dailies. Well, on the Japanese rickshaw here, we've undercoated the entire underside and all of the engine bay. We replaced the battery. Actually got 11 years off the factory battery, and it wasn't dead, but it was definitely starting to crank slow on cold days. So we went ahead and replaced that. We also installed the FU light bar, very discreetly hidden, and trust me, it'll blind you. But we're just about to hit 200,000 K on this car. I bought this car brand new. It had 4 clicks on the odometer when I bought it. And, 200,000, it's time for some spark plugs. Every once in a while, on a cold day, it'll kind of want to flood. And if you don't start it just the right way... Anyway, I'm pretty sure the spark plugs are cooked in this thing. It hasn't tripped any check engine lights. Knock on wood, this car's never had a check engine light in 200,000 K and 11 years of ownership. But, Nissan, in their infinite wisdom, put the intake manifold, rather, where you can only get to 1 coil pack. Well, you can admit to maybe 2 coil packs, maybe 2 spark plugs. But long story short, the intake's got to come off, which means we had to order intake manifold, and we had to order throttle body, intake gasket rather, throttle body gasket, 4 new spark plugs. Some people were suggesting that, the intake's off, you might as well change all 4 coil packs, but I mean, coil packs work or they don't. And, when it comes to daily drivers, they need what they need, and that's about it. So, anyway, all right, we got to get the air box off. We got to get the mass airflow tube off. We got to get the throttle body disconnected from the intake manifold. But from what I've read on the forums with these Nissans, if you unplug the throttle body, you can have problems. So we're going to remove the throttle body, but leave the electrical connector on and just, move it to the side. And then while we have this off, we'll give this a good cleaning. We'll put 4 new plugs. And, we'll inspect the coil packs and we'll inspect the boots. Hopefully there's no oil getting in or anything. Anyway, we'll know more once we start pulling things off. And, while it's in here, we'll do the air filter and the oil change. So, all right. The Felpro kit from Wrong Auto came with the intake gasket and the throttle body gasket. I went with the NGK Iridiums. Basically, this is what's supposed to be in them from the factory, so hopefully that'll do it. But something I've never seen, none of my spark plug sockets work. So these actually require a 14 millimeter tiniest little spark plug tool I've ever seen. So got this on the Jungle website, and they're supposed to be gapped to 44 thousandths. So we're gonna get my gauge I've had since I was like 15, and it's gonna do the job. So I'll also do air filter, oil filter. This car has never had anything but conventional Castrol GTX 5W30 and Wix filters from the day I bought it. So why mess with a good thing? It works. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, I did that. Looks pretty good, actually. So that's going to work perfectly. So Sweetleaf's covered and pushed into a corner right now because I've been in a mad scramble to get all the daily drivers and the beaters ready for winter. And the story behind this '09 Cobalt, which her name's Paula, named Nina, my fiance named her. This is actually a car that Nina brought into the relationship, soon to be marriage. She brought 2 with her, this and an old 81 Chevy that I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. It'll come up in another video. But she has her classic Chevy and she has her daily driver Chevy. But now she mostly drives the Coyote powered F-150. And this has become like my spare going to work car. It's only got 70,000 miles. It was her grandmother who has passed away's car. So she's pretty attached to it. And like, as I can show you, like, for a Canadian car, this thing's not rusty. It's actually pretty nice on this side. What happened over here was 2 winters ago, in a snowstorm, she kind of lost sight of the road, the country road she was driving on, and she ended up Dukes of Hazzarding this into an empty, well, full of snow cornfield. And anyway, she ended up messing up the fender, destroying the bumper, destroying the wheel liner, and destroying the headlight. So we went to the junkyard, we got a new wheel liner, and we got a new used GM bumper, and that's all, like the grill and all the plastic pieces we pulled off of the broken bumper, because the junkyard charges you more if you take all that stuff. So I mean, in an effort to keep costs down. So the main problem that had happened, other than here, when the bumper pinched up, it messed up all this on the fender. And there's a few spots where you can kind of see, my bodywork's not perfect, but where the paint had chipped. And down here, the whole rocker got pushed up. So every time you would open the doors, they would rub on the rocker. And within a year, all the lip on the door and the lip of the rocker had no paint, and within no time started surface rusting. So we grinded all that off. And then hit it with some rust reformer. And then I did a self-etch primer on all the spots that needed to be fixed. The rear wheel arch, this rocker and bottom of door, and this entire fender. So this is the self-etching primer. And some places where I grinded where the paint was chipping. Anyway, it left some imperfections, and there were still some imperfections from the accident. And this SEM filler primer really made it look a hell of a lot better. I know I could have just grabbed another fender at the junkyard, but I mean, trying to save some money where we can. So we're at the point right now where we are ready for our color. Headlight set on Amazon. And anyway, our local paint shop was able to color match and mix us up 5 cans total. Hope that'll be enough. It should be plenty. Of the 2009 GM Gold Mist Metallic color. This is base coat, clear coat, epoxy, all in one. I didn't want to do the base coat, clear coat, just more money, more... It's a spare car. I mean, on the Fox body, when we do the engine bay, this is the same brand of stuff we'll be using, but we'll be doing an actual base coat and then a clear coat, like a 2K activated 2-part clear coat in a can, because my compressor can't support it, and even if it could, I don't have a gun, I don't have a water separator, I don't, reducer, activator, this, that. It 4 to 1 to 1, it confuses me, but I know how to spray paint, so we're going to go a bit the cheaper route here. I mean, it's just for the Cobalt, it's just getting it to look better, and mostly for it not to rust, you know what I mean? On the Fox body, we're going to actually do a base coat, clear coat, which is better than it even had from the factory under the hood. Just had a base coat. So anyway, enough about Sweet Leaf. Back to Paula. It's time to lay down some gold. Alright, so we're back at it. We've got the air box off. Now we're just getting all the vacuums off, and now we got to get the throttle body off. And like I said, we'll leave it connected, the electrical connector, we'll just push it to the side. Yes, don't worry, negative's unplugged on the battery. And then there's 5 bolts up front here for the intake. There's one here. There's one here, and you know, with my luck, there's got to be one in the back. But you know, these cars were never sold in America, so there's not a ton of content online on working on these. Luckily for me, this is the same engine that's in like the 2012 to 18 Nissan Versa, so it's basically the same garbage. So the intake and the throttle body are off. Put brand new throttle body, Velcro. Boop, take 2. F you. All right, so we have the intake off, and we replaced the O-ring gasket, whatever you want to call it, for the throttle body, and put new intake gasket on. They both came in the Felpro kit. If you have a Versa or a Micra MS97359. So, all right, so it's 7 bolts on the intake. You got 2 up here, and then you got your 5 down here. You have a wiring harness that goes in front on this side, which is a pain in the butt, so I suggest you do that one first. So all right, so we have taken out all the coil packs. The rubbers in them look good. The connections look good. There's no signs of heat or anything, so I'm not going to spend a couple extra $100 to get coil packs. I'm just going to wing it because, you know, it only needs what it needs. Now, focus. Yeah, these are about an 80 thousandths gap. They're 44 thousandths from the factory. So, yeah, basically I got the same NGK plugs, and you know, they don't smell like gas, and they're not all fouled with oil, but I mean, they're cooked. That's 200,000 kilometers. So anyway, 4 new plugs are in, coil packs are back on. We're going to get the intake back on. From what I can tell by looking in the ports, it's the tiniest valves I've ever seen. But yeah, this is a 200,000 kilometer engine that revs high. It's a stick car, and it's not always had an easy life, but it's had its Castrol GTX 5W30 every 5,000 kilometers religiously since it was new. So I mean, it looks like a pretty clean little engine, so I'm happy. All right, all you Fox Body fanatics, as you can see, building materials, yay. Renovating a room in the basement, well, renovating our basement, and then it's Sweetleaf's turn. So anyway, to wrap up the video, everything went fine, putting everything back together. The paint looks pretty damn good, pretty close match. I mean, you could tell the difference between 16-year-old paint and brand new paint, but it's for the car, it's absolutely perfect. What else on the little Nissan? It was at 200 clicks, so at the same time I gave it its first transmission fluid change. It needed a GL4 API fluid, so the only one that I could find locally here, I mean, I guess I could have driven a half hour and bought the Nissan brand oil, but for the same price, I got the AMSOIL here at the local auto parts, so kudos to PAV Auto Parts, and we got that all changed up, and yeah, like you can see, they're out, they're on the road, they're turning, burning, and earning, and doing what they're supposed to do. So now, over the next couple weeks, I'll finish up the basement, and once the basement's done, it's a hard hit on Sweetleaf. Oh, what's that? That's a bunch of Sweetleaf parts. Just a tease. Just a tease.